Hello everyone, my name is Steve Buzzard. I am the director of Buzzardball Youth Basketball. It happens right here in Sacramento, California, and we have been doing the Winter League since 2005. Quick history, I took over the league when it was being run by the Jewish Federation. At the time in 2005, I think we had a little over 100 kids, and here we are, fast forward to 2022, getting ready for the 2023 season, and we have close to 1,200 kids. So we're very excited about the growth of the league and what it has done. So how is Buzzardball different than any other youth basketball program? Well, I will tell you this. I, as your director, love running the league. Okay, so I don't need to be Adam Silver, but I love having my hands on all aspects of the league, starting with registration to, just all the events that take place with the season, and then the partnerships that we have, especially the big one with the Sacramento Kings, where we get to play our championship games for 3rd through 8th grade at Golden One Center, which is pretty cool. So over the 17-year journey, we've gone from 100 to almost 1,200, and seriously, it's all been word of mouth, and we're very big on this. It's really, we call it Sacramento's complete youth basketball experience. And that's what I like to look at it as, because it truly is not only for the kids, which is the most important thing, but it's for the families. When you look around and you see youth sports, I think it's nice to be able to come into a place where we have created a positive culture for our kids. I think two big things that really kind of stand out in my mind. First of all, it's an all-play league, okay? So yeah, your kid can be great, they can be a beginner, they can be somewhere in between. Because of the all-play rule, everyone's going to be playing the same minutes, depending on the makeup of the team, and we'll get into that when we break down what are called subgrids, which are very instrumental to Buzzardball. But that's one aspect. The second aspect is just the positive culture. We're not going to deal with things that you see on, maybe YouTube or Instagram or Facebook like that. We really are there for the kids, and we really try to kind of weave that in, not only with our kids, but our coaches who are coaching the team, and God bless them, they do a great job. And then of course the families, that's you, that are there being able to watch your kids and really cheer them on. It's a positive experience. It's a lot of fun. We go kindergarten through 8th grade, boys and girls. It's co-ed K through 2. Once they get to 3rd grade, then it splits off, and we have an all-girls division and an all-boys division. So what are we going to be doing in the videos today? Well, we're going to be jumping on a couple of topics. First of all, just the main one, rules, okay? Just rules of the 3rd and 8th grade league. We'll also have a separate video for kindergarten through 2nd grade, just because it's a little bit different in terms of the rules and what we do. And then we will break down the subgrids, okay? When coaches see this for the first time, they're like, what is this? But the beauty is, once you understand it, it is very, very easy, and I'm going to help you with that. I was a coach at one time. I got to coach all of my kids, Toph, Max, and Riley Buzzard, and it was a joy. So using that subgrid really kind of saved my day in terms of the organization of my team. So that's what's coming your way. I just want to say thank you for being a part of what has been just a fun experience for me. I know I do administration and I'm not coaching anymore, but I truly do live vicariously through each one of the coaches and the kids, just seeing the joy on their faces when they're out there each and every Sunday. So you know what? Let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. The first video that is coming your way will be rules, and then we'll have one for the subgrids, and then I'll have a separate one for K through 2 rules. Again, my name is Steve Buzzard, director of Buzzardball, proud to bring you this experience for your kid. All right, welcome in, and we are ready to go over the rules for 3rd through 8th grade. Now, listen, first thing you want to do, everything that you need to know about Buzzardball is located on buzzardballhoops.net, all right? I am very proud of this website, and in big part to my web designer. I'm going to give him a shout out here. His name is Juan Beck. He really helped me put this vision together, and the main thing is to make sure everything is streamlined so that you, the user, when you go in, you know exactly where everything is. So I'm going to actually back up a little bit and take you to the Winter League homepage, and you can see that this is where everything's at, right? And then, of course, you have league info, roster, schedules, location, coaching resources, which that's where the rules are, and we're going to go over, and then the news feed, okay? And I probably should do a separate video that just kind of goes over the website, but we're not going to do that right now because we are ready to get into the rules. So we're going to hit coaching resources, and you can see everything is there for you, but you can just scroll down if you wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and just hit rules right here, and this should take us down to 3rd through 8th grade. So I'm going to go through it and just kind of hit some bullet points and then give any explanation to a bullet point where if you read it, you're saying, what does that mean? Okay, so let's get right to it. We're not going to waste any more time. Basketball size, very important, K through 2, 3rd through 4th grade, 27.5. Now that is a change, okay? Something I read up that it should be up to 4th grade, 27.5. When the boys get to 5th grade, they graduate to 28.5. Obviously, the girls do the same, and then the girls stay at 28.5 for the rest of their life because that's what women play with or young ladies play with. And then the boys, when they get to 7th and 8th grade, graduate to 29.5. Now, you may see when you buy a basketball, it may not say 27.5, 28.5, and 29.5. You may see sizes 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so that's the reference. Now, playing time, which is the most important thing about Buzzardball, it is an all-play league. Coaches are required to follow the player subgrid, and we are going to do a separate video just on the subgrid, okay? Game length for 3rd through 8th grade is 10 minutes, okay? And we've worked successfully with this over the year. We try to run the games, on the hour. Of course, you're going to have some games that run over if there's overtime or whatnot, but we've been very successful with 10-minute quarters. It is a running clock, okay? Stop clock for subs at the halfway point of the quarter, timeouts, and the final 2 minutes of the game. But the only time that it would stop in the final 2 minutes of the game is if the lead is under 10 points. Okay, so you get that. We don't expect any big, huge comebacks like you might see in the NBA. And of course, we're trying to be on time, right? Okay, so that kind of explains that. Now, let's go to substitutions. Okay, so we do a hard sub at 5 minutes. That means the game is going, the clock is at 5 minutes, right? What will happen is we won't stop play abruptly. If there's a play that's going, they'll let it play out, and let's say the ball goes out of bounds or there's a foul or a shot is made, then the buzzer will sound. Okay, we will alert the officials, they will stop the play, and then boom, we'll do subs. Now, this is the most important part. It is not a timeout. Each of the coaches will get 3 timeouts per game, but on the subs, you're going to have that next group ready, okay? So no subs do occur during gameplay. The only time that would happen is if there's an injury or disqualification, okay? Clock operator, as we mentioned, will stop the clock at 5 minutes. Officials will signal for the subs on a dead ball whistle. And as I just explained, letting a play in progress finish. I know it sounds like I'm reading it, but I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anything because we do want to get all the details in this video. Site director confirms the substitutions. That's very big. That, again, will be in the subgrid video, and we'll tell you why we do that. If an injury occurs, first player listed in the next segment of the subgrid will play for the injured player, and each player is allowed 5 fouls. Okay, the first player listed in the next segment will sub for the disqualified player. Okay, so that's substitutions. Timeouts, we just mentioned 3 timeouts per game. If the game goes to overtime, we'll explain overtime in just a minute, you get an extra timeout. Free throws, the way we do free throws, a little bit different because also when you have the running clock, think about this, right? There's a foul, then you're trying to get everyone lined up. A lot of the kids don't know how to line up, and so it takes a lot of time off the clock. So we do 1 free throw for 2 points or 1 for 3 on 3-pointers where there's a foul, okay? In the final 2 minutes of the game, we go right to the bonus. So there's no team fouls that are recorded in Buzzardball, okay? It's just the final 2 minutes. If there's a foul, boom, it's 1 free throw for 2 points. If a basket is made on a foul, we award an automatic point. Okay, no free throw made, ball taken out of bounds. Okay, so that's free throws. Let's move on to defense. This is always a fun one. There is no double teaming outside the key. It is man-to-man defense, but double teams are allowed once the player enters the key. Why? Because now they're going to the basket. That's where you're going to get help defense. So no traps can take place. No double teams can take place outside the key. Inside the key, game is on. Okay, now let's look at presses. 3rd and 4th grade divisions, we do not allow a press. And in 5th and 6th grade, the press is allowed in the 4th quarter. Okay, and they can pick up on defense at the half court line. Let me add something for 3rd and 4th grade. This is kind of a little detail. When the team comes across half court, the defense will pick up, we call it the 10-foot line, but really it's the 5-foot line. There's going to be a line that's going to be marked just over half court, And so the defense cannot pick up until that line. This is a one-time deal per possession. That's the most important piece, okay? So for example, point guard has it, okay? And by the way, can't stall inside that area. So you'll see the ref, they'll count them. They stand in there for more than 5 seconds. That's going to be a 5-second violation. We're going to go the other way, okay? But let's say they throw the ball to the shooting guard on the right side, okay? Play takes place, and the ball comes back to the point guard. Point guard says, you know what? I'm going to go back into that 5-foot area. No. At that point, defense can come out and get them. So it's one time per possession that they get that opportunity to have that buffer. Why did we put that in? It is simply to give that point guard a little bit of a breather to set up the half-court offense, okay? And you'll see it with 5th through 8th grade. When they pick up at half-court, you're going to have a good ball handler, okay? You're not going to see many great ball handlers at 3rd and 4th grade. They are still learning. So this is just a little buffer, a little rule that we put in that has helped things. And by the way, we've done this for many, many years. Okay, let's continue to move on. Hope you're still with me. My name is Steve Buzzard, director of Buzzardball. We're very excited for another season of youth basketball. Buzzardball, Sacramento's complete youth basketball experience. And now let's talk overtime. Let's say the game goes to overtime. 3 minutes is the overtime period. Subs take place at 1:30, and then a stop clock is in the final minute. So instead of the final 2 minutes like regulation, it's the final minute. Players that started 4th quarter start overtime, okay? That'll be in the subgrid, but that's something to remember. A lot of people say, well, what do I do, right? You go right back to the start of the 4th quarter. You play that same group. The first group plays the first 1:30. Last group plays the last 1:30, okay? If it goes to second overtime, and we have had a few of these, guess what? It is sudden death. It is the first team to score, and in that case, the coach can choose the players they want on the floor for sudden death. Okay, now let's talk about home team and visiting team, because this is very, very important. Home team will wear the white jerseys and will be listed second on the schedule and will sit to the right of the scoreboard. Okay, so here's how you need to look at it, because people say, what right are you talking about? Okay, so this would be me looking as a spectator across the way at the scoreboard. Just think of it as the Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings sit to the right as you are looking at the benches, okay? You will warm up on the same basket as the bench. I know in traditional basketball you go opposite, but we do not want to confuse the kids. Just warm up on the same side. Now, here's the key. You will provide a volunteer for the scoreboard. That's right. And don't worry, we have site directors on hand that will help teach the parents how to do the scoreboard. We try to keep it very simple. That's why we don't keep team fouls. That's why it's a running clock. I would say the only time that really the person's got to be truly, truly engaged, well, we want you engaged the whole time, would be those final 2 minutes of the game, okay? And the home team will provide a game ball, and each team will get a game ball for the season, but the home team will provide it for the game. Now let's talk about the visiting team, just kind of the flip side. They wear the dark jerseys. They're listed first on the schedule. They'll sit to the left of the scoreboard. That would be opposite of where the Sacramento Kings would sit. They warm up on the same basket as we talked about, and they will provide a volunteer that will do the scorebook, okay? And I'll have a whole thing on the scorebook. I've got a little visual, very simple. All we do is we keep points, we keep fouls, just personal fouls, not team fouls, and we do the running score up top, okay? And I have a little graphic that I will send out for that. So now let's talk about other rules as we're rolling right along. And if you're with me, I applaud you. But this is very, very important. I think really will kind of bring it into picture for you. Other rules, technical or flagrant fouls. If there is a technical, that results in automatic 2 points and ball out of bounds. No questions asked, okay? If a player is assessed a technical foul, they are removed from the game. If a coach is assessed a technical foul, they will need to coach from the bench for the remainder of the game, okay? Zero tolerance. In fact, this is coming down. We're going to have something in writing from Hawkins Officiating. They are the official officiating service for Buzzardball. They have instituted a zero tolerance policy, and that means being the mistreatment by any player, coach, or person in the stand, okay? And this feeds right into our positive culture. Listen, I don't think we're going to have a problem with this, but it is definitely something that we have to put in place, okay? Let's move on to the blowout rule, okay? If a team is leading by 20 or more points, the scoreboard will stop until the trailing team scores, okay? Points will still be recorded in the scorebook because, yes, we do keep stats in Buzzardball, but they will not show up on the scoreboard. Does that make sense? So let's say the score was 69-26. We will still have the stats for this team that scored 69 in the scorebook, okay? But on the board and what I put on the website, the final score will be 46-26, okay? Hope that helps out. Also, when it comes to offense, these are kind of the other rules category. No spread offense. I've had a lot of coaches ask, what does that mean? Okay. Well, listen, just think of it this way. Okay. And we've seen this happen. Of course, we've had to take care of it. Is you get your best player and then you clear everybody else out. Well, because everyone has to guard someone, that then takes the defenders out. And what it creates is a one-on-one with 8 other players who don't matter. Okay, does that make sense? We do not want that. All right, that is a spread offense. 4 corners. You're not going to do 4 corners, and we're going to try to go to the basket, try to make a play, and I hope that makes sense. So no spread offense is allowed. Okay, so we got 2 more items, and then we are done. Okay, we're going to talk about the officials. We have our officials from Hawkins officiating. They have been with us for many years, okay? And when we talked about that zero tolerance policy, we are very lucky to have this incredible group of officials, okay? Not only do they do our program, which is a rec basketball program, they do the PAL, they do high school, they do college, and it's pretty cool because we're one of the very few rec programs that they do, and the reason why is because of how we run the program. So they like coming to our program and officiating our games. No complaints should be directed at the officials during or after the game, okay? Very, very important. Folks, you have seen the mistreatment of officials. It happens, and we are not going to let it happen, all right? So you should, as nice as an official is, even if you're going to go compliment them, it is important, do not approach them, okay? Because listen, some of these officials might have PTSD from an experience they have, and you just have to respect that. It's unfortunate, but we want to make it a very safe environment for everybody involved. No shouting out violations or complaints from the stands or the bench. This is my personal rule because it's my biggest pet peeve. The and one, when it's not an and one, because a lot of the times people don't understand the rules. They just say it because they've heard it on the NBA. We don't want any of that to happen. We don't need to tell the officials how to call the game. Now, let's say something happens within a game. You see here that I've got the cooling off period. It's 24 hours, okay? After 24 hours have elapsed, you may email me at scbuzzard@gmail.com. Please leave the details of the incident. The incident then will be shared with Hawkins officiating director Steve Harank, Andrea Barber, and Jay Crawley, and then you will receive a response as soon as possible. Here's the thing you need to know. There are always 2 sides to the story. Also, I'll get my site director involved, and we'll have as many eyes on any situation so that we can come to a conclusion. But the thing I don't want is you don't want to be hot-headed after something happens. Now, if there's something where someone's, they're in danger or something like that, we're going to take care of that right away. But just common complaints, wait 24 hours. And then finally, good one to finish on, the site directors, okay? Site directors will be at each of our game sites. They ensure that the games are running on time. They collect the subgrid number rosters before the game. I'll talk about that in another video. They check the lineups, okay? They assist coaches in having the scoreboard and scorebook duties occupied before the game starts and deal with any in-game incidents. Here's the thing that I would say about site directors. Like the officials, you must respect them, okay? They are there just making sure everything runs well. They're paying attention to what's going on, and really, they should never have anybody coming up then to them and yelling at them as well. Okay, we're very big about that. Again, going to the positive culture. Does it mean everything's going to be perfect? Absolutely not. Okay, we know that there's going to be things, but we have people in place that will help handle those things. There's me, there's my 2 boys who are assistant directors, Toph and Max Buzzard, and then site directors. Many of them have been in place for a couple years, and they do a tremendous job. Okay, so there you have it. That is a wrap on the rules. The next video coming your way, we'll be talking about the subgrids. My name is Steve Buzzard. This is Buzzardball. Thank you for tuning in.